It has been a while since I test rode a new motorcycle. The last, of course, being my 2023 Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Explorer back at the end of the 2022 riding season. So I thought it was about time that I checked out some of the other bikes that Triumph has to offer, and the bike I chose to start off might surprise you. Being an older guy, I am now 64 years of age. Strength and stamina are now a concern for me, as well as they should be for most of my aging baby boomer generation. Sure, we still think we are macho and our egos give us chubbies for those beautiful, long and low 900-pound behemoths we call touring cruisers and baggers. But if we are being truthful with ourselves, most of us should be riding smaller, lighter motorcycles. Of course, that is also true for newer and less experienced riders. New riders should also think about starting off with smaller bikes. It's much easier to develop good habits when you are not fighting the weight of a big, heavy machine. Of course, we expect younger riders to follow those macho urges, but getting older is supposed to mean getting wiser, not more stubborn. At some point, we are supposed to stop thinking with our little heads and start using the big one on top of our shoulders. Continuing to ride motorcycles that are too big and too heavy for our aging joints and muscles is just not very wise. So with those thoughts running through my head, I decided to give one of the mid-range offerings from Triumph's adventure line a try, the Triumph Tiger Sport 660. At first glance, this bike does not seem to fit into the adventure category. I mean, just look at it. It does not look like it has any off-road capability, and it really does not. This is what Triumph calls an adventure sport bike. It retains the upright and neutral riding posture of the common adventure bike, but the aesthetics and equipment are decidedly road-oriented. But again, dishing out more brutal honesty, most of us who buy these adventure bikes are very rarely going to see anything more than a hard-packed dirt road, myself included. What most of us who buy this style bike are looking for is a comfortable, capable sport touring machine, which is exactly what the Tiger Sport 660 brings to the table. Sport without that hunched-over riding posture. The Triumph Tiger Sport 660 starts with a base price of $96.95, but it can easily be customized with accessories that include hard bags, a comfort seat, heated grips, and a quick shifter. Other bikes in the same category might include the Honda NC750X for $93.99, the Suzuki V-Strom 650 XT for $95.99, the Kawasaki Versys 650 at $88.99, or the BMW 750 GS at $99.95. All of these bikes are in that just under $10,000 price point, so the Triumph is a competitively priced option. Looking at the spec sheet, the Tiger Sport 660 comes with a great Triumph fuel-injected 660cc inline triple that produces 81 horsepower at about 10,250 RPMs. The claimed torque is 47.2 foot-pounds, and the final drive is provided by an X-ring chain and a 6-speed gearbox. Being an owner of the larger 1200cc triple, I have become a big fan of these three banger engines. They sound great and produce a linear power curve that just keeps climbing to the end of the red line, about 10,500 RPM. Suspension is provided by a Showa 41mm upside-down separate function cartridge fork with 150mm or 6.25 inches of wheel travel. In the rear, you will find a show-up monoshock with remote hydraulic preload adjustment. Again, it offers 150 millimeters of wheel travel. For comparison, the Tiger 900 GT offers 180 or 7 inches of travel and 170 millimeters or 6.5 inches in the rear. For brakes, the Tiger Sport offers Nissan 2-piston sliding calipers, twin 310 millimeter discs up front, and Nissan single-piston sliding calipers and a single 255 millimeter disc in the back. ABS is available both front and rear. Seat height is a manageable 32.87 inches, and there is a low saddle option available. I have a 31-inch inseam and I was easily able to handle this motorcycle, although I was not flat-footed. At the stoplight, I maintain brake control throughout the stop and balance the bike by using my left foot. This is the same technique I use while riding my big Tiger 1200. The tank capacity is 4.5 US gallons and overall weight is 455 pounds. Claimed fuel economy is 52.2 miles per gallon. Triumph claims the lowest overall cost of ownership with a 10,000 mile or 1 year service interval. And I guess I should address the long service intervals because I have received many comments from viewers who feel this is some kind of marketing gimmick or conspiracy to force engine repairs once the bike has exceeded its 2-year unlimited mileage warranty. Of course, we all grew up knowing that oil changes should be done every 3,000 miles. It's just one of those cosmic laws of the universe. However, most modern cars, trucks, and now motorcycles have extended service intervals of between 5,000 and 10,000 miles. Engine technology and oil technology, like most everything else we humans create, tends to get better over time. I find it hard to believe that any manufacturer would knowingly recommend oil change intervals that would damage their engines. How long would it take before it bites them in the ass, given our overly litigious society? I can find no evidence that keeping to the manufacturer's recommended maintenance schedule will harm your motorcycle. So here's some more truth. Most riders will never come close to traveling 10,000 miles in a single riding season. So a yearly oil change using modern synthetic oils should keep your bike working at peak performance for many years to come. For me, I did let my oil go for the full 10,000 miles on my Tiger 1200 just to see how the bike performed and how the oil held up over a full year of riding. In the end, I was very impressed with the Castrol Power One oil that is used in these Triumph bikes even after 10,000 miles. With that said, from this point on, I will probably change my oil more often in that Tiger 1200 based upon my travel schedule. Climbing on the Tiger Sport 660, I immediately felt comfortable. The bar reach was well suited for my 5'9" frame and kept me in a very upright and neutral riding posture. I could feel that my feet were slightly more rearward than on my big 1200 and that my knees were slightly more bent. Personally, I found this to be a comfortable riding posture, but I can see how someone 6 feet or over could feel cramped. The handling on the 660 was very light and responsive, which is one of the great things about a smaller bike. They are just more fun. Throttle response was smooth, and I did try both riding modes, rain and road. There was a slight but noticeable difference. Personally, I would just leave the bike in road mode and deal with the rain by limiting my right hand. On this bike, ABS is always on, but you can adjust traction control to one of two settings, either enabled or disabled. This is done with the 4 navigational buttons on the right control pod. Once I got used to it, moving around the menu structure of the bike was pretty simple. The brakes also performed very well, being easy to modulate. One of the things about my Tiger 1200 is that the brakes have a real bite, and you have to be careful not to grab too hard. The Nissan calipers provided plenty of stopping power, but do not give that excessive bite or nosedive. Shifting was precise, but a bit clunky, and it was hard to find neutral on a couple of occasions. If I was buying this bike, I would spring for that $290 quick shifter. Along with riding some great back roads, I also took the bike up on the highway to see how it did while dodging all of the crazy folks and big trucks. While there was plenty of power to roll down the highway at 70 to 80 miles per hour, there was a bit of buffeting. In all fairness, I did have on a helmet with a visor or peak, and that may have contributed to the turbulence. But I think I would have to look into a new windscreen or other ways to reduce the buffeting before turning this bike into a small, long-distance touring machine. The one thing I found lacking on the Triumph Tiger Sport 660 is the suspension. The Showa front forks are not adjustable, and while not the worst I have ever ridden, are a bit lacking for my 200+ pound weight. The rear monoshock, also Showa, is adjustable for preload, and perhaps setting the sag for my girth would have helped smooth out some of these New England pothole-strewn roads. My favorite thing about the bike is the Triumph 660cc Triple. I love the character, response, and performance of this little 660, and it sounds great too. The Tiger Sport 660 comes in 3 color choices for 2023: Lucerne Blue, CURTOSEY Red, and Sapphire Black. Choosing red will cost you another $125. Personally, I like the blue. Of course, Triumph has a full line of accessories to personalize the Tiger Sport 660. I got on the configurator and set up the bike with hard panniers, a top case, the color matching panels, the quick shifter, heated grips, the comfort seat, hand guards, and frame protection. All of this brought the price up to $12,948. The bottom line for me is that the Triumph Tiger Sport 660 is a fun, responsive, and capable motorcycle. It has plenty of power to manage just about anything you will throw at it as a single rider. While I did not have the opportunity to put a passenger on the back, I would hesitate to do so unless both rider and passenger are lighter people. As I mentioned earlier, my favorite thing about this bike is the Triumph 660cc Triple. Smooth, linear, and responsive. I love the character of this engine. Throwing bags on the back would make this bike a capable, small touring bike. However, the suspension is the limiting factor in my mind. As long as the roads are smooth, the Tiger Sport 660 is great, but a few hours of rough roads would make for a long day. So if you live in Massachusetts or the surrounding New England area and you want to give this bike a try, you can stop by Mom's in Foxboro, Massachusetts and talk to Josh. Tell him I sent you. He'll take care of you. All right, ride safe, my friends.